Hi friends, welcome back to my session. And before of this class, we had covered all the topics about the EC2 instance. Everything we had covered in a both theoretical as well as in practical session. And right now, we are going to discuss about the EBS. So first of all, we need to understand what is EBS and where we are going to use this EBS. So EBS is nothing but, just please remember as like this. EBS is nothing but the hard disk, just like hard disk like storage. EBS generally stores for elastic block storage. Okay, in the EC2 dashboard also you can find volumes. Volume is nothing but storage. Why we are using the volume? Volume is nothing but storage. Okay, so here you can find that elastic block store, elastic block storage. Okay, EBS is nothing but EBS stands for elastic block storage, and EBS is the block based storage. We have two types of storage. One is block based storage, the second one is object based storage. Here coming to EBS, it is a block based storage and provides the storage to the EC2 instances, like it will be called as a volume. Okay, and for our understanding, I just make here in a notepad. Just please kindly read this. EBS can provide the storage for the EC2 instance and it will be called as a volume. How many types of EBS can provide three categories of storage device. Generally, we know SSD disk, solid state drive, and HDD hard disk drive, and the previous generation hard disk. Generally, while we are procuring, means while we are buying any laptop or machine, first of all, what we are checking, the basic configuration, that is what the RAM, what the generation of processor we are using, what the hard disk is providing. Generally nowadays most of the people are adapting to the solid state drive only because of this has a fastest processing capability. And earlier but this is a little bit costlier and as compared with the HDD. So HDD provides the performance wise good, and but it is a little bit slower than SSD. And if you come to the previous generation, as in the name only itself mentioned that it is a previous generation, because of in earlier we are going to use this kind of drops. Generally right now this type of storage will be used only for the infrequent, to store the infrequent access of data. Okay, and how the performance of the SSD will be measured? The performance of the SSD is measured in terms of IOPS. IOPS stand for input output operations per second, and at the same time the performance of the HDD is measured in terms of throughput, Mbps, megabits per second. This is the parameters. This is the if I work on anything, I need to measure the performance. How? There are for different things, there are different parameters. So based on the parameters only I can be able to calculate the performance. So for the SSD the performance factor is IOPS, and the HDD the performance factor is Mbps, means throughput, Mbps, megabits per second. Generally we have two types of volumes. One is the root volume and the second one is EBS volume. What is the difference between the root volume and the EBS volume? Generally, whenever, just please remember this word, whenever we are deploying OS on any disk, that will be called as a root volume. Other than the root volume, the volume which can be attached to the as a secondary disk to the EC2 instance, that will be called as the EBS volume. The volume in which we install the operating system, that will be called as a root volume. This is the basic difference between. So we have suppose if I create one EC2 instance, then automatically one root volume will be created automatically. So I don't know I don't need to create any root volume, because of without root volume the OS has not been deployed. So definitely if I want to access one system, then root volume is mandatory. It will not created by me, it will be created by default. Whenever I am going to create the EC2 instances, automatically the root volume will be created. And if I want to add further space, suppose I want to create one more additional disk to my EC2 instances for storing purpose, for storing the data files, or for storing the softwares, or whatever the things which are required as per my requirement, I am going to attach the additional disk, that will be called as a EBS volume. Okay, and EBS volume can be attached to a single EC2 instance at a time. Can I attach one EBS volume to multiple EC2 instances? No. At a time, one single EBS volume can be attached to single EC2 instances only. But if I want to attach the EBS volume to another EC2 instance. At the time, what I will do, first of all, I will disconnect the EBS volume from the existing one. Then once it has been deassociated, then the furtherly it will be connected to the another EC2 instance. In this way, I can be able to do the tasks. Okay, and EBS volume can be attached to the EC2 instance in the same availability zone only. And just we need to remember this point because of EC2, these EBS volumes are availability zone level. It is not about the regional level. If you take the snapshots, it is a regional level, and if you take the EBS volumes, it's a availability zone only. If you have the EC2 instance in the region of Northern Virginia region, at the same time 1A availability zone, so the EBS volume which is in the same availability zone will be able to connect to the EC2 instance which is in the same 1A availability zone. If the EC2 instance is in 1B availability zone, if my EBS volume is in a 1A availability zone, then the connection to the is not possible. I need to create one more EBS volume in the 1B availability zone to make it connected. I hope you understand. If we perform in the practical session, then you are getting the better understanding how the flow is going on. Okay, and types of EBS volumes. There are different types of EBS volumes are available. So SSD, general purpose SSD, it will be called as a general purpose SSD. In this we have two types of model, GP2, GP3, and second one is provision IOPS. Both are SSD, but the performance level is different. So based on the performance, based on the features they had provided, we had divided into multiple things. The first one is general purpose SSD, and the second one is provisioned IOPS SSD. In this we have IO1, IO2, and the third one is throughput optimized HDD, ST1. Throughput optimized HDD, ST1, called HDD. It will be called as a SC1. And the last one is magnetic standard. It is a previous generation. Generally, the AWS will not at all recommended to use this previous generation. And if I have any specific kind of requirement, if I want to store any infrequent access data, and if I am using any old data, and then that time only I am going to prefer the magnetic standard. Okay, and even though we have the different types of models, just first of all we need to understand what is the basic difference between this type of what is the basic difference between these different HDDs. So why we segregate them. So I have one sheet with me. So this is that. If you see this table, then you will get a better understanding what the things are going on. Okay, this is the general purpose, this is the provision IOPS. Both are SSD. The performance wise, it will be calculated in the IOPS only. It is a GP3 and it's a GP2, and IO2, IO1. Okay, durability means how the data will be durable. Durable means long period. How much safely I will be able to store my data, how long it will be run on my EC2 instances. In this case, Amazon will provide the 99.8% to 99.9% durability. There is very less chance of 0.1 to 0.2% of annual fail rate. So accept that 99.9% my data will be secured and safe. It's a long-term durability. Durability means how long it will be available. 99.99% it will provide the durability to us. Who will provide? AWS will provide the 99.8% to 99.9% durability to the AWS users. At the same time, if we select the IO2 or IO1, if it is IO1, same like the GP2, GP3, 99.8% to 99.99%, but the thing IoT is only 99.999% durability, means it's a 0.001% of annual fail rate only. I think it's highly impossible to lose that data. There is a very less chances to lose the data if I am going to save my data in the IO2 block express. Okay, and use cases. So when we are going to use this type of SSDs, so based on the requirement, for which scenarios it will be suitable. Yes, please have a look on this. And coming to GP2, GP3, it's a transactional workloads. Suppose if any transactional applications I am using, I am going to prefer the GP2, GP3. And for virtual desktops, and as I said, medium size single instance databases. Medium size, it will not be suitable for the large size applications and multi instances databases. It will be suitable for medium size single instance database and low latency interactive applications, and it will be boot volumes, development and testing environments. Yes, GP2 and GP3 generally we use for the development and for testing purpose. It mostly it will not be recommended for the production purpose. So IO1 workload that requires sustained IOPS. Performance is more than 16,000 IOPS. Okay, in these scenarios, we are preferring the IO1. And coming to IO2, this required sub millisecond latency. Millisecond is very small. If we think sub millisecond, it means very too much small. We don't know, we don't calculate. Generally, if I want to calculate it manually, it's very impossible. It's very low milliseconds. Suppose if I am running my application and I don't want to any latency at the time, and it's I don't want to impact my users at any cost, so which requires in production purpose at the time we are preferring the IO2. Even though it is costly, it provides the best performance to us. More than 64,000 IOPS or 1000 MIB or throughput. Okay. Volume size. Generally, in GB to GB3, we have minimum of 1 GB and maximum of 16 TB. And coming to IO1, minimum 4 GB and maximum is 16 TB only. And only for IO2 only, minimum is 4 GB and maximum is 64 TB. Up to 64 TB hard disk we can be able to create in the IO2 block express. Okay. Max IOPS. Here for what? For GP2, it is 16,000 IOPS, and here also 16,000. And coming to this IOPS IO1, 64,000 and 2,50,000. IoT is 2,50,000 IOPS. Okay. Throughput. Generally, SSD will not at all find the performance by using the throughput speed. Generally, it will be preferred for the HDDs. But even though we have the rough calculation, so how much throughput speed we are getting by using this SSD drives. So its GP2 is 250 Mbps and for GP3 is 1000. In the similar way, for provisioned IOPS is 1000 and it is IoT is for 4000 MB. Amazon EBS multi-attach. So will I able to attach one EBS volume to multiple instances? No, it will be not at all supported. But coming to provisioned IOPS, it will be supported. This is the additional feature supported by the provisioned IOPS SSD volumes. So it will be little bit costlier, but the features we are getting from by using this provisioned IOPS will be more. So if my application requires more support, very less latency speed, and it will be used for production purpose, then companies will prefer to the provisioned IOPS SSD volumes. Okay. Boot volume. These all things are supported for the boot volume. Boot volume is nothing but root volume. Okay. And where in this GP2 or GP2 or GP3 or IO1 or IO2, I will be able to deploy OS. And coming to throughput optimized HDD and cold HDD volumes. What is the basic difference between these two? Volume type ST1, SC1. It's a throughput, like that we can remember ST1, cold SC1. So both will provide the 99.8% to 99.9% durability, and ST1 is used for the big data warehousing and long processing, and cold HDD will be used infrequently accessed data. Scenario where the lowest cost storage is important. Generally, throughput optimized is using big data. Suppose if I have a large amount of data, I want to proceed with a large amount of data. At the times, I am going to use the throughput HDD. But if I want to process for storing the infrequent access of data, and the cost is matter for me. I want storage, but the cost will be less for me. In that scenarios, the cold HDD volumes will provide the best solution for us. And volume size minimum 125 GB and maximum is 16 TB. If we observe that in GB to GB3 there is minimum of 1 GB we can be able to provide, but in this minimum of 125 GB required and maximum 16 TB. In GB to GB3 as well 16 TB is the final. max storage we can provide. Okay, max IOPS. Here for storage 500 and for cold SSD it will be 250. Okay, so this is the throughput speed 500 and 250 you can, and it will be supported for boot volume. That's will I able to deploy OS? No. Throughput HDD as well as cold HDD will not at all support for OS deployment. It will not be used as a root volume. Okay, I will be able to use the root volume as GB2, GB3, IO1, IO2, and whereas I will not be able to use throughput optimized HDD as well as cold HDD as a root volume. Please remember this. And the last one is a previous generation magnetic dress. Volume type is standard. Use cases workloads where data is infrequently accessed. So for both cold HDD as well as previous generation HDD as well, if cost is matter for me and at the same time I need the more storage space, I want to store the data which is infrequently accessed by me or by my company, so I am going to prefer this magnetic HDD. This is previous generation, and the volume size is 1 GB and the maximum is 1 TB, and max IOPS per second is 42,200 and the max throughput per volume is 42.9 MBS. It's boot volume supported, and the only things are supported is GP2, GP3, IO1, IO2. This previous generation magnetic HDD will be supported for deploying OS, and it will be used as root volumes. And these two throughput optimized means throughput optimized HDD as well as cold HDD will not at all be used like a root volumes. So I hope you people understand about the what is the EBS volume, where we are going to EBS volumes, and for your reference, everything I had mentioned in the notepad as well. The same thing, whatever I explained to you in the screenshot, the same will be mentioned here. If you have any clarity, just please refer this, then you will get the better understanding. And this will be some quite difficult to remember all those things, but try to remember. And majority of we using GB2, GB3 only. Suppose whenever I need the performance is matter, at the time only I am going to select the IO1, IO2 as per my project requirement. Okay. I will anyway I am going to share this document as well for your reference, and please have a look on this, then you will get a better understanding. Okay, and in next section we are going to discuss in a practical manner. Okay, thanks for joining my session. Thank you.